The thud against the wall came from the duplex next door. I didn't know what it was until I heard my parents arguing. Mr. White was beating his wife. My mother told my father we had to do something. My father told her it was none of our business. I was terrified by the silence that followed. I thought maybe he'd killed her. And yet the next day, I never asked my father why we couldn't help. Instead, I wondered why Mrs. White just didn't take her 5 kids and leave him. When we moved away, memories of Mrs. White faded. By the time I left home, I'd all but forgotten about her. My life was just beginning, and I had high hopes for my future. I married a man who I believed thought of me as his equal. It wasn't until I quit my job to raise our twins I learned otherwise. He slowly took control of all our financial decisions. And by the time I realized that, I was trapped in an abusive marriage. He demanded I account for every dime he gave me. I had no resources to leave him. Sadly, fate intervened when he became critically ill and passed away. I wrote about my experiences to help me unravel the pain from these events. But I realized I couldn't stop there. I had to do more to share what I had learned, because I finally understood why Mrs. White stayed. The trauma of emotional, physical, and financial abuse can be paralyzing. Escape isn't always possible. Money can be used as a weapon to keep us in harmful relationships, and sometimes the consequences are deadly. It's hard to chart a course when we're worried about food and shelter, the lack of affordable child care, unpaid child support, and financial instability caused by divorce are just some of the issues women faced long before COVID hit. These factors were, however, exacerbated by the pandemic. Research shows that one of the biggest factors that perpetuates domestic abuse is the gender wage gap. On average, women earn $12,000 less annually than men for the same work. And over the course of a lifetime, that adds up to more than $500,000 women could have used for their basic needs, or an emergency, or even savings and investing. Collectively, the amount of wages lost to women in 2021 due to the gender wage gap was the staggering amount of $1.6 trillion. And that is the largest factor contributing to what subverts women's rights, both in the home and in society. Find out how you can help